Okay, so I am going to be doing a how-to arena. I tried to do a how-to arena in the past, and it didn't turn out that well, so I was thinking about doing a new one. So, I've already picked my class, which is Rogue. I had to pick between Paladin and Shaman, and I decided to go with Rogue, um, because it's my personal preference. I haven't played enough to be able to say which class is better than any of the others. I just know which ones I've done better with. And that's definitely been Rogue. So, the point of the arena is to be able to get cards that are better than average. So whenever you pick up open a pack of cards, you want to be able to get a card that has usually more than a one-for-one trade. Now, one-for-one trades in this video is going to be called zero card advantage, because in any situation, this card that you will be playing will only be able to trade for one other card. Any cards that you lose in the process is -1 card advantage. Any cards that you gain in the process, in any form of that word, is +1 card advantage. So I'll show you what I mean through these picks. Now, Nerubian Egg, on its own, can be considered to let's see, considered to be +1 card advantage, or +2 card advantage, because 4/4 stats in the early game is very good to have. However, I do not like to play it because I have to bet on the chance that I'll be able to get it to be activated. So if I don't have any activations, I don't want to pick it until, on average, I'll be able to pull it with an activation. It is good, though, to be able to set up for flame strikes and stuff like that, but I won't go into that since we're not picking it. So, Abomination or Headcrack. Headcrack gives me 0 card advantage, but it does give me tempo, right? I'm able to deal more damage, which is basically what tempo means, being able to get more health out of the other person before they are able to get you. Tempo means that you're picking up time, but time is basically how long it is till you or the other person dies. So, we're going to do Abomination. Alright. So, if you look through these cards, I'll give you a chance to look through. I know, it's a test if you want to. If not, wait a few more seconds. Look through them and see which ones give you 0, +1, +2 card advantage. I'll give you a little bit of time. Okay, so there's I'm looking between Hearthstone Cleric and Spectral Knight. Because Shadow Step on its own does not give me any card advantage. In fact, you can also say that it might give you negative card advantage, but you can't assume that yet. My pick is looking towards Spectral Knight. Because he is a 4/6, that means that they're going to have to use something like a Fireball, an Assassinate, something along those lines. There are not very many cards that deal 6 damage as spells, cards that removal. The thing is, though, he can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, which means that they have to use creatures to be able to kill him. And in general, it's hard to be able to pick up something that deals 6 damage. So either they have to drop an ogre, or they have to have other cards to be able to be able to kill it with. So, Spectral Knight, on average, as I've seen it, is either +1 or +2 card advantage, in the sense that when you play him, the other person will either have to play 1, 2, or 3 cards. We'll have to get rid of 3 cards to be able to kill him, because he has that much. He can't be targeted. Shadowsun Cleric only gives you +1 card advantage because it's the card itself, and then it gives a buff, which may allow that creature to survive. So I'm bringing you more into the idea of all this thing, card advantage. That's why I'm picking Spectral Knight here. In general, picking Spectral Knight for me is a no-brainer. I would just pick him right off the bat because of my explanation. That's just how good he is. Now, if you look at these card picks, you look again, if you notice that one of them has an ability, and also that the other ones don't have necessarily as good of stats as other cards such as Yeti, such as Boulderfist Ogre. 5 health is not a good place to be, and 6 health is already not a great place to be in. As soon as you hit 7, you start to get lots of card advantage. Not saying that Corehound um, is having 5 health isn't that great, but in this situation, Corehound is generally considered a bad card, but I don't feel that it is. In this situation, I would pick Device Ringleader because I get 2 cards for the price of 1. You might not be able to trigger him, but if you do trigger him, you're able to get that card advantage out of him. Otherwise, he's a 0/0. I also pick him because generally you pick 2 drops and 2 drops that are able to trade for other 2 drops, but I'll go into that later, and then I'll explain why Device the Ringleader is so important. So here is Shield Bearer, Eviscerate, and Argent Squire. All of these are basically zero card advantage, because Eviscerate can only kill 1 target. Shield Bearer could be called -1 card advantage because they don't necessarily have to kill a creature to be able to kill it. And then Argent Squire is generally +1, but it's not has such little health that it can be disposed of easily. So that's why I think I'm going to go for Eviscerate here. Because Argent Squire is good, but I would rather have removal than very minimal +1 card advantage. Okay. This is really interesting. Eight health for very little mana cost is very good to have. Sea Giant because people play a lot of creatures in Arena. Because creatures are generally the major form of how you get card advantage in Arena. It is a very good play. Molten Giant is also very good because once you get low enough, he's a free 8/8. And Shaded Noxoramus is also good as well because it's able to start picking up the pace after a while. Shaded Noxoramus really kicks in later, so you have to wait for it to get +1/+1. Sea Giant and Molten Giant are both 8/8s immediately. So I think I'm going to pick Sea Giant for the bet. This is the occasion where all these cards are very good and very up to par with each other. That I'm going to bet that there's going to be, in general, on average, a lot of creatures on the board. And that we might not necessarily have hit our life totals down quite a bit. If I had more weapons, I would bet more heavily for Molten Giant. But still, at this occasion, I am choosing which one I prefer at this moment. There's no... I don't have enough statistics to say, like, I haven't played enough games to be able to say which one of these is better. So, Conceal can be considered to be card advantage. Though, it could also be argued that it's delaying the time. That, delaying the death of the creatures. Which it really is. Just because you've hidden something doesn't mean that other people have to play more cards to kill it. It's a tempo move. And tempo is usually good with cards you have to defend. Not a good pick at the moment. Because I don't have anything that I necessarily want to defend. Like 100% want to defend. Those cards come later. Gadgetzan Auctioneer, if I see it, I'll mention it. Torn Warrior is pretty bad for what he is. Because he trades with most 2-drops. And if you want to trade with the 2-drop, grab another 2-drop. Don't grab it with 3 mana. If you enrage him, he's decent. But I'm not betting on that. Okay. This is pretty bad. Raid Leader, though he's 3 mana, is actually more of a late game card, because if you play him as a 3 mana card, he does nothing. You need to have a board to be able to play him. Otherwise, he's a 3 mana 2/2. If you don't, then he buffs all your other creatures up. You want to have a board. 1 for 1/1 charge is not too bad. Booty Bay Bodyguard in this situation isn't that bad either. I'm gonna pick him so I don't see a situation where I want a 1/1 charge. So Sprint, people have said that it's not that great. Personally, I do think it's actually a pretty damn good card in Arena. Because if you need that advantage, sometimes it comes down to you don't have the cards to draw. But Assassin's Blade has 4 charges, right? 4 charges, you can use it 4 times. Sprint has 4 cards, you can get 4 cards out of it, which means that I would pair them up together. I haven't used Sprint in enough arenas, again, to say. I've played maybe 100, 150 arenas. I'm not up to par with Trump, Kriparian, those type of people. But I do know the fundamentals of what cards you should pick. And this is between Assassin's Blade and Sprint, because Nightblade gives you tempo. So I need to choose between one or the other. And right now it's going to be Assassin's Blade, because Sprint is too much of a late game card. Between Gnomish Inventor and Dragonlane Mechanic, since Dragonlane Mechanic gets so easily killed, I'm going to pick Gnomish Inventor. Right, both +1 cards, but one of them is defined for you. One of them is a 2/1, the other one is whatever from your deck. Okay. At the moment, I don't see anything that I necessarily want to Crazed Alchemist. So since I can't bet on things in my deck, I have to think about what I'm betting on that I'm going to see on their board to be able to use Crazed Alchemist on. Alarmabot is decent, but I don't have... I mean, decent in this matchup. None of these are guaranteed card advantage. So I can either go for Crazed Alchemist, or for the card advantage, or Arcane Golem for the tempo. Because none of them are considerably better than the other. Vanish might seem like a decent card, but all it is tempo, unless you're able to overload their hand. Which, it's really fun when it happens, but generally don't bet on it, unless you've been able to draft, offhandedly been able to draft a miraculous deck, which can cause you to overload their hand. So I'm going to go with Enobar. And just don't try to build those decks unless it falls upon you, because you can really screw yourself up doing that. It's fun if it works, but you're gonna have to spend a lot of money or a lot of gold to be able to pull it off. So that's why I wouldn't bet on it. Besides, I haven't built it that way. I'm building value. If it falls upon me, then I will pick Vanish, but otherwise, I'm not picking it. So, Deadly Poison gives you more usage out of your dagger. Sharded Sun Cleric gives you potentially +1, and Acidic Swamp Ooze also gives you potential +1. I'm going to pull Deadly Poison for the Assassin's Blade because it's good with dagger, first and foremost, and because I can draw it with Assassin's Blade. Mokshan Warden is crap. It doesn't really trade with any of your other cards, and it's a 0. It's 0. It gets you tempo, but it's a 0 card advantage. And Lord of the Arena is also pretty much 0. He's like Fireball Magnet. So Conceal, no. Shadow Step, no. I want to go for Cult Master because if you're able to play it and trade, you get +1 for each guy that you do. That can be extremely valuable. So, in this one, you might be tempted to pick Eviscerate. I'll give a chance for the next ones to pick a card. You might be tempted to pick Eviscerate, but Loot Hoarder is the one that gives you plus advantage. Guaranteed. Unless it's silenced. Okay, let's take a look through this. Think about which one you would pick. I'll tell you which one you shouldn't be picking. Is Gold Shard Fitman. If you're able to figure that out, you're on the right track. Now, Earthen Ring is decent, but you need to have a minion to target, or you heal yourself, which is tempo. Or you can get Novice Engineer, which lets you get the card draw going, which is what I'm going to go for. Look through. Tell me which one you think it is. Young Dragonhawk is the one that you don't want to be looking at. Now this is the point where both Tiger and Loot Hoarder are probably +1. Now, also, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I am looking at my 2s here, and they're actually pretty high. You can just look at the bar and look at this height is more than average, right? It's above this part. And I see that most of my guys can kill a 3-2, which is generally where you want your 2s to be at, but you don't necessarily want to account for that. It's very good to have a 2-drop that can trade for a 3-2, but having a 2-drop that gives you card value is much more important than being able to kill a 3-2, right? So it's card value, being able to trade with a 3-2 or 2-3, right? If you can trade with a 3-2 or 2-3, it's up here. If you can trade with a 3-2, it's still pretty good. If you can't do either of them, then you're playing a dead card, basically. Unless you can get value out of it some other way, which is possible. I'm looking at you, Pint Size somewhere. So there's String of Thorn Tiger and Loot Hoarder. Which one you want to pick? Personally, I think I would go for the String of Thorn, since I don't necessarily have that many 5-drops to play, and they're not great value. Also because I do have, again, the start of the conversation was the size of the 2. So none of these are great cards. Frostwolf Grunt is arguably really bad because it's a 2 for a 2-2, which is average, and you don't want to pick average. I'm also going away from Voodoo Doctor because it's Valkyrie Restore 2 health, and potentially for Sap, even though it's a -1, the usage of it can both give me a 0, right? I have the potential to get a 0, or I have the potential to get tempo and technically have it be at -1. But the fact that I can get a 0 or the tempo means that it's better than these other ones, which Frostwolf Grunt might be a dead card. It might be a -1. And Voodoo Doctor might also be the same. So they're all on par. Voodoo Doctor is a little bit better than both. Sap can also be on par or better than Voodoo Doctor, so I think I'm going to pick Zombie Chow here because it trades with a 2 for the 3-2, and it can get me more value than just that. It's either that or Viscerate. Ogre Magi is not good stats. There's a lot of 3-drops that I can trade for Ogre Magi. On top of that, spell damage is decent, but don't build your deck around it unless it's Blood Mage Thalanos, because he gives you the card draw. Basically, don't do anything with spell damage unless it's amazing. Malagos, because that's +5, is basically the only example that I would pull. That's what I've seen. I don't think anyone else would pull spell damage just to get spell damage. Or else you might pull a Kobold because it's low cost and you play Kobold, then you play another card. But 4 mana for plus spell damage +1 means that if it gets rid of the next turn, you can't use it. So anyways, between Eviscerate, between Zombie Chow. And so I was going with Zombie Chow because it can get me more value than if this Ray can. Alright, there we go. So it's between Azure Drake and Stampeding Kodo because I need to build my deck around Mana Addict, or at least have a deck that's good with Mana Addict, and right now I have 3 spells. So, Stampeding Kodo is betting on the fact that they have a good 2-drop, and then Azure Drake is betting on the fact that my next draw will be good. And also the fact that I have spell damage, but it's also drawing a card. Let's see. I'm going to go with Kodo here. So I don't need the tempo from drawing a card. That's not necessarily been a good decision. So Ancient Watcher only if you have something that can trigger it. Otherwise, no. Mana Wraith is 2 for a 2/2. Unless you can set up the mana cost, no. It's from 0 to +1, which is good, but Violet Teacher is so much more value. On her own, 3/5 is decent stats for a 4 mana, can get you +1 card advantage, and whenever you cast a spell, you get +1 card, which is the 1/1 Violet. So it's either between Ravenholt and Violet Teacher again. Ravenholt is also 0 mana, but amazing tempo, and Violet Teacher is just good card value, which I think I'm going to go for another Violet. Alright, look through these. See which one you would pick. If you look through these, and you think that all of them are decent cards, you're absolutely right. They're all decent. Which one of them is 0 card advantage? In this case, you might think that it's either Backstab or Yeti. And you're technically right. Both of them can be 0 card advantage. But after playing a bit, Yeti is around +1 card advantage, and so is Enubar. Enubar returns a creature. So it's between getting that +1 damage and returning creature or being able to play Yeti. So I think I'm going to play Yeti because I don't want to lose tempo. But it's a tough trade. Harvest Golem. This one is not easy. I'm going to see how many things I have with Battle Cry before. So that's 1, 2. I do have the Arcane Golem. That's interesting. 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 with Battle Cry. So all of these are 0 mana. All of these are 0 card advantage. Not that great. But you probably want to go for one of them that can be better than the others. If I had Blood Fury or whatever it is, the if you have combo, give it +4, +0. I would pull the Young Dragonhawk, but I do not. I don't have any way to buff it. I don't have any way to buff it. And Murloc Raider can trade for a 2, but if you're playing Rogue, if you're playing Mage, if you're playing Druid, you can get rid of it automatically. And if they play an Argent Squire or anything, it's gone. 1 health sucks. I mean, not all the cards with 1 health sucks, but 1 health is not a very great stat to have. You have to be very careful when you play it. So I'm going to go Shadow Step here for the potential card advantage. But it's only because I got put into this position of having to choose a bunch of crappy cards. So Murloc Tidehunter gives you another card. Bloodsail Crusader, 0. It's a 0 card advantage, but if you have a weapon out with a lot of stats, that's pretty good. What would be the argument for picking one or the other? What would you need in your deck? What would you have to expect out of their deck to argue for one or the other? I'll give you a little bit of time. Or you can pause. The idea is that the Bloodsail Raider, if you, on average, you think that you'll be able to have a weapon out when you play it, then it gets more value than its 2-drop value. And that means it's either played as a 0, or it gets plus, it doesn't really get +1, but it gets more tempo later if you have a weapon out so you can buff it. Which means that it's good value. But it doesn't give you card advantage. The Murloc Tidehunter, on the other hand, does give you card advantage, but you also have to think about the hero abilities that come out. So I'm going to go with Murloc Tidehunter for the card advantage. Silverback Patriarch, don't even talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. It has bad stats. Okay. Look through these cards. Get a feel for them. And that's the order. Look through these cards and tell me which one you think it is that we should pick. I'm looking at Betrayal over here because I can get 0 to +1 card advantage out of it. That's decent. That really is, compared to Tempo and Tempo. We're getting down to 2 more drops. You shouldn't necessarily look at this, but sometimes it's okay. Tell me what you think. Tell me which one of these is +1, which one of these is +2. 0. And this guy right here is a 0. This guy right here is +1 to potentially +2 if you get it enraged and you have a weapon out. This one is generally around a +1. I haven't seen it been able to trade for more than 2 cards. So it's between this guy and this guy. And I think I'm going to pick the Spiteful Smith for more stats, and for the enrage effect. Because this one you really have to be getting rid of the small guys and then keep it alive. Which isn't bad. I'm just making this bet here. Take a look through. See what you think. Which one of these 0, 1, +2? Kidnappers return a minion to your owner's hand. If you combo with something else, it means it's a very late game card. Actually, not a very great card. Unless you need to go push for that win, then it's a bad sap. Molten Giant, very good. Need to get low health. Sea Giant, need to have a lot of creatures on the board. I bet on this guy before. I'm going to keep on going with that assumption. I could have gone for Molten Giant, but I don't see any way that I would bring down my health first. And there it is. It's drafted. Alright, so it's a pretty decent deck. I want to know if I should be running for 2 drops or 3 drops, or what mana cost should I be expecting to have in my hand. What should I optimize to be able to make sure that my turns play out in the order that I want them to play out. Now let's see which one of these cards are early game cards that'll be able to give me tempo at the beginning, that I want to be able to play at the beginning to get myself more value than if it were to be played at the end. So Deadly Poison is a decent card to have in my hand at the beginning. It does trade with a lot of a lot of the minions on the board. But if the other person overwhelms you, might not be that great. Anyways, Deadly Poison, decent card to have at the beginning. The Zombie Chow, very good card to have at the beginning. Betrayal, not so much. You need a lot of creatures on the board. You need creatures that can kill other creatures with their damage. Eviscerate, not very good. You want more tempo than that. You want creatures out on the field basically. Sap, again, no. Defias Ringleader, Loot Hoarder, another Loot Hoarder, Murloc Tide Hunter. Novice Engineer is not the best 2-drop to have unless you have board. So, getting rid of that guy. River Crocolisk. So I have 8 at the moment. 8 out of 30. I have less than a 1/3 chance of getting a relatively good 2-drop. And then we have to remove 2 of those because of the Defias Ringleaders. So 6 out of 30, that's 1/5, that's 20% chance. So if we want to get a card that we want to play at the beginning, there's a 1/5 chance. We have to discard 5 cards to be able to have a guarantee of having one of those cards in. Basically a guarantee of one of those cards in. Which is really interesting. Right, you start out with either 3 cards or 4 cards at the beginning, so gonna do a bit of heavy betting with this deck, but we can do it. It's very good to know, because you need to know which cards you want to pick, which ones you want to throw away, that sort of thing. Otherwise, you could set yourself up with a really bad hand, and you don't want to be in that position. It's all about thinking about the future. Good. So we want to get rid of those 2. I want to get a good mana curve. When people talk about mana curve, it means being able to use all of your mana in a way that gets you the best game possible. So really, in simple terms, it's just get 2, 3, 4, 5 cost card, right? Just Loot Hoarder, then Harvest Golem, then whatever my 4 mana card is, then whatever my 5 mana card is. Just get those there, or get cards that can work together to get that mana cost. And be optimal. But when we get there, we'll get there. Nice. So it's turn 1 Zombie Chow, turn 2 Loot Hoarder, unless something else happens. Okay. Mana Worm gets pretty good value. I want to get it off the board. If possible. I don't want to put myself in a bad position. But since I have Dagger and since I have Zombie, I can do this. Now, how much card advantage did I get out of that? If you'll notice, he has 6 cards in hand. I played this many, 5, and then I was able to get a Wicked Knife out of it, right? A 1-charge Wicked Knife. I did not lose my Zombie Chow yet. Zombie Chow has already gotten rid of 1 card for me. And I've also made him skip this turn. Skip. He had to pull a Fire Blast. I could use Shadow Step for Defias Ringleader. I think I can get better value out of it, so that's why I'm not using it now. But still a valid assumption. Now, either I use the knife for tempo, or I use it to get rid of a creature. I would have made that decision differently if I either had the 5 mana blade in my hand, or poison. But since I didn't, I didn't. I'm going to get more tempo on the board. It's fine. So you can look at my hand at the moment, and you can start to make assumptions about what you might be playing next. Remember that you don't want to think about it as I have to do it, because you don't necessarily have to do whatever you're playing for, but it's nice to plan it in advance. Technically, I should have waited before I hit, but... So, look at my hand and see what you might be able to do. Now, it's easier to pull what we think we should do because of what we drew. Oh, because of what he played, my bad. I'm actually going to Shadow Step the Violet Teacher here, so I can get more value out of it. I basically just gave it 4 health. I could have played Device Ringleader, but that would be playing into Mind Control tech. Take a look. Think about what kills, what removes stuff from the board, what doesn't, what gets rid of, what uses stuff in my hand, what doesn't. Okay. Now, since I have no damage dealing cards in my hand, I know that I'm probably going to have to trade these two for this guy. Again, this might be a little bit paranoid, but I'm playing around Mind Control tech. And also, no. This is advantageous for me because I don't have a clean way of killing it, meaning I can't deal 5 damage as it is to it. If I had a 4 on the field, I could hit it with my dagger. That's not good. Okay. I'm not going to hit it with my teacher because that means that Abomination will kill it. It's already going to kill my 3/2 at the moment. And that's not good for me, but I'm able to put up a taunt and... Sweet, awesome. Give myself buying power. He's probably gonna strike face. Ooh, that's good. If he doesn't fireball my sheep, I have a clean trade.
Bring me steel.
What you gonna do?
Bring me steel.
Nice. I'll take that. Ooh. Okay. I don't want to take that much damage. Getting to 12 is dangerously low. So I'm going to trade my guy for it instead, and then I don't want this guy to return to my hand, so I'm playing the Chillwind Yeti, right, instead of this. It's reducing 1 damage to be able to get... Reducing 1 damage to be able to not get this guy back to my hand, which would be really bad for me. I don't want to lose that tempo. So this is the point where card advantage is starting to matter. And Karn is basically +3, if you think about him as 2 Yetis. If you have to spend as much as you would for, you know, killing 2 Yetis, then that's how much Karn gets you. But the good thing for me is that I'm actually getting really close to lethal. So 8, 12, 13, 14. I need 6 damage, which I cannot pull in 1 card. I don't know of anything that can give me an immediate 6 damage. That's fine. If I can out-card advantage him, or cause him to... or set up for lethal, then that's good for me. Very interesting play. Okay. I'll take your bluff, I think. I might overload the board with creatures, and then if he mind control techs... Oh, he's probably setting up for Flame Strike. Okay. Oh, this sucks for me. So if I do want to play around my control tech, I have to flood the board with low health creatures. But if I want to set up for Flame Strike, then I can't do that. So... okay. If he doesn't have mind control tech, then this is still decent for me. Let's see what he has. Unless he has Flame Strike. I mean, I'm assuming he has Flame Strike, so I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Oh, yep. He doesn't have it. Sad day. I wonder what he does have. He definitely has Ice Block if he's playing it this way. Or else... he definitely has Ice Block. I wouldn't see why else he would play it this way. Oh my god. That's so bad for him. Oh my god, that's so bad for him. Okay. There you have it. That's game 1. So like we said, it's a 1/5 chance to get something that's able to trade with his drop. That being said, I don't need these 5 guys, because again, I want to set up for the mana curve. And if I don't get those cards, I want to keep this Novice Engineer. Because if I trade 3 cards, I'm not guaranteed to get one of those 2-drops. Oh, 2-drops, 1-drops. Okay. It's better than nothing. Always gotta be friendly. Gotta be friendly to other people. Gotta greet people. Guess he doesn't trade. He doesn't have my same sympathies with greeting people. Little bastard. This is betting on the fact that I can't play a good 3-drop. And that he doesn't have a death rattle in his hand. Oh, it's druids being druids. Oh, what? Oh, that's not good. Oh, Pain Train is about to come in. Oh god.
Do you need a blessing?
Oh, sweet. He's going for face. This is great because of my eviscerate. Sweet. Ooh. That might be even better. Ooh, that's actually really good. So if I kill... I have to use Betrayal first. And I want to use Eviscerate to deal 4 damage, so I can't use it on Wolf, because that would hit, the bear. So I'm going to have to use it on, this guy. So let's do it. Draw a card. Nothing I want to use. Didn't think it was. Now, I'm either betting on the fact that he has a Death Rattle in his hand, which he hasn't played yet, or that the wolf is going to be more damage, which it is. The wolf is technically 4 damage, if you think about it. Well, if you think about it. You should have accept the fact that the wolf is 4 damage. It has 2 attack and it gives +1 on either side. Ooh, but that's good. So I'm looking to use all 5 of my mana, which is actually decent here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm going to use all 5 of my mana. So either I play the 4/6 that can't be targeted, or the 4/6 that can be targeted, and also gives me damage to my weapon. So it's like a free deadly poison if it doesn't die. Which means I get a free kill on the Snapjaw. Bad ideas. Bad ideas, boys. Why? 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 Why would you do that? Between the Yeti and the Violet Teacher, which are both using up the curve 4 mana, since I don't have a spell in hand, I'm playing Yeti.
The mana.
betting on the fact that he can't get through that. It's a little bit greedy, but then again, it really isn't. Unless he has a swipe. Then I take an extra 2 damage. Oh man. Oh, get behind me. Remember, kids, use your dagger before you dagger up.
Glory to the Sindora.
Good for you, pal.
Here we go.
I have lethal next turn. There's no reason to make any dumb bets. I'm also betting on the fact that he can't deal 10 damage out of his hand. Well, I mean, I really can't. No, I can't account for that, so I'm not betting anything on that. Bite.
Well played.
Well played.
What a gentleman.
Valera versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory. Watch your back.
So, again, swap out 5 cards to be able to get a 2-drop, a decent 2-drop. I'm keeping Violet Teacher in the case that I don't get a decent 2-drop. Right? 20% chance. Oh. Aren't I lucky? Nice. This gives me a good amount of tempo. Circle of Healing? Oh, snap. There it is.
Here we go.
That was beautiful. I'm moving into the game with perfect mana curve. Absolutely fantastic. I don't want him to get any more value out of that
Here we
than playing it in the first place. And unless he can kill my Enobar, which is still potential, I can get more tempo out of it than playing a Gnomish. And technically I want to get Zombie Chow off the field. But even if he's in my hand, he's a dead card. So it's a trade-off. I did it for the curve. I could have used Gnomish to. Get the battle cry potentially. Oh, there it is. Well played. And we reset tempo, and he has 6, and I have 6. Nice. Well played. Nicely done. I actually don't think I'll get anything more. I don't think I'll get more value out of Shadow Step than that. So, I am now at... Ooh. Gonna use this to get tempo, so that I'll be able to deal with it when it comes back down. Or if I... Well, I don't think I'll have to trade. I don't think I'll be able to trade anything. Okay, that's decent. I can deal with that. That's actually really good. Again, use the dagger to get card advantage. I now have 8, 9 cards. 9. This guy can't be killed by anything except for stuff. Oh, great. And here's my Cult Master. And we're going to play Violet Teacher. Beautiful. Sad part here is I want to play more creatures, but I don't think I can without giving him the chance of mind control attacking. So I'm just doing this. Though I do have better creatures to play in hand. Ooh, does he have the silence? No, he does not. Oh, there it is. That's the him getting card advantage. That's what I mean by that. There it is. Okay. Good. Fantastic. I can actually play Arcane Golem without any disadvantages here. Because he's already at 10 mana. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, please don't have... Oh, I really hope he doesn't have mind control attack. Oh, that would suck so bad. Oh, I forgot about the spell. I should have played that in a different order. Please. That would be terrible. Okay, good. That sudden realization one. Nice. Again, Betrayal's late game. Sweet. I don't think I've gotten a coin yet. It's interesting. Oh hey, Betrayal. I see you're back. Ooh. Yeah.
Here we go.
Get as much card advantage out of zombie as possible. Oh. In that case. Okay, so I could trade here. Okay, you know what? That's what we're doing.
We go.
Getting a little bit greedy here. I don't know. I guess I could have shot for face, but
Reporting for duty.
yeah, I'm a little bit greedy. Oh no, I can't. I want to get rid of the guy first, but I could have defaced him to defice. That doesn't seem like that's happening though. If he makes another guy. The dream here is that he makes two creatures. He makes a guy, and then he makes another creature that has 2 attack or less. So I get to remove both.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Here we go.
What'd you expect?
Follow the rule.
Ooh, sweet. Oh, please make a guy. That'd be glorious.
Not on my watch.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough. I'll take it.
Here we go.
You're looking at me.
Rats.
You're looking at me.
I don't want that much card advantage. I don't want card advantage that badly, I mean. Should still be able to make a decent play coming up. Okay. Okay. Fuck it, I'm playing around mind control tech.
Here we go.
Sap into Kodo to go for face. Yeah, I can't get any more creatures out on the board, so sadly this seems like best.
Looking at me.
Oh, actually I could have. No, but then I would have played into mind control tech. Still not sure quite. I'm not quite sure how much mind control tech gets played, but I've seen him enough that I'm scared of him. That's good enough reason not to. Oh man, Watch this, guys. This is why you have to sometimes be worried about positioning. Because your opponent will pull shit like this on you.
Here we go.
If he had played his Farseer on the other side of the knight, he would have been able to avoid that. As long as that doesn't affect him negatively, which I don't know any adjacent paladin cards, that's the play he should have made. It's not an obvious one, but it's still one that you have to consider. Oh my god.
Here we go. Thanks.
Sassy pants.
Just me and Mr. White.
Your magic shall
Game over. Yep.
Valera versus Valera.
Watch your
I will be your death.
Okay. I'll keep these for the options. Okay. A very decent curve here. Turn 1 play, turn 2 play, turn 4 play.
The pleasure is mine.
Notice me. Oh, never mind. There it is. Plan just changed to flooding the board with creatures. I do want to get value out of Zombie Chow, but Zombie Chow has Defias. The tempo is just too good to fess up. Besides, if I don't have a turn 3 play, then it's Zombie Chow with... Oh my god. In retrospect, I should have played it to the left, as I was saying before with the Betrayal. I guess it's not played very often, which is why people get desensitized to it. To how they place their minions against rogues. Okay, cool. I can deal. Could have played Loot Hoarder, Zombie Chow, but again, I'm paranoid of my control tech. I don't need to slow down at all. If I played Loot Hoarder, this, he only has to trade one card with it, whereas Zombie Chow I get more. And besides, if I can keep the tempo going, I'm in a very good position. This might be a little bit greedy. Disclaimer.
Give me a quest.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Well, now I have the 5 mana curve.
Mind if I roll me?
Ooh, did not consider that. That's fine. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yes, it is. That's more than okay. Could use knife, but I'm kind of full tempo mode at the moment. I got so much tempo that I'm gonna keep rolling with it.
Truth is my shield.
Interesting. Looking for 5 damage and something to pull off the shield. Betrayal is 2. That would mean I'd have to trade all of these into his Sunwalker to be able to get rid of it. That's great. It's a terrible position to be in. I could throw down the Booty Bay and hope that I can trade into the 4-5. This is a really tough position to get out of. Or I can trade everything into it and then play Crocolisk.
Here we go. Too soon.
That hurt. That play hurt. I could have also tried to play Booty Bay and then hope that he would set me up for Betrayal, but that's a lot of hope. Oh no. Please. Okay, that's decent. I can deal with that. But now he has tempo. That's a lot of tempo. I can't keep my tempo anymore. It's not possible. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm gonna make the bet that I can't keep my tempo. Otherwise I would have kept that for Arcane.
Here we go.
I'm trying to bait him into playing more creatures so I can drop the Booty Bay. And force him to trade with Enubar, or whatever else he has. Oh, shit. Yeah, beat it. Oh, that's interesting. Definitely want to get rid of that. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine.
You like my invention?
Basically just forcing him to wipe out his creatures. Otherwise he deals 9, 11, 13, 14. And that's not a good place to be in. Oh, there it is. Okay. Interesting. Well, this is pretty decent. It's not a bad position to be in. He'll only have 1 4 attacker on the field, so he's planning to get 4 damage somehow. 3 damage. Oh, I can actually remove... No, I can't remove all these creatures.
Here we go.
Let's see what he removes. Okay, he needs 3 damage. Oh, he needs 2 damage. That's not good for me.
Well played.
There it is. Oh yeah, okay. There's the BM. Oh, let's just watch him. Make sure he fails. Yep. Hi BM. Nice to meet you BM.
Well played.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, there we go.
Watch
Keep both for variation. It's good I got the 2-drop that I wanted. Don't need to bet on getting it through a 1/5 chance. It's good enough for me. Oh, that's scary. Okay. Gonna have to take 5 damage. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Oh shit. Okay. I'm doing this not to lose tempo. It hurt. If he was mage, I would have thought about that differently. Yay. I'm getting the damage to be able to get rid of it. That's fine with me. One second. Okay, we're good. Okay, again, this isn't great because it does deal... Abomination isn't a fantastic card because it deals 2 damage to all my creatures, but if you can't get rid of Anubar, then this is pretty advantageous for me. Oh, please. Yep, okay. He's getting rid of everything. That's cool. Works for me. Hopefully this triggers after. Please trigger after. It does. That's great. It's fantastic. Playing Violet for the stats. And River Crocodilisk for River Crocodilisk. I have 7 turns if he uses hero power every turn. I don't know if he would, but he does have a decent amount of health. It might be wrong to suggest that he would. It's 2. Oh, no. I can go 4-2. I'm okay with going 4-2.
Pass me that arc light scanner. Instruction begins.
Here we
And then I'm playing Zombie Chow for the card value. He's already ahead of me in tempo. I know that I'll have to beat him in card advantage, but I have 6 turns to do so. Again, if he uses his hero power return. That's really not cool. Okay. I don't have very many turns to do this.
Instruction begins.
I have lethal next turn if he doesn't get rid of any of my creatures. I'm solely betting on the fact that I can kill him in the next turn, because if I don't, I have no way to prevent the damage that he's going to deal me. So he needs 3 more damage, which isn't often to come by a priest. Sweet. Great. Beautiful. That's interesting. That's not good.
Give me a minute. Instruction.
I don't want any damage dealt to my giant. I could have used my giant to get rid of it. This is also betting that he doesn't have mind control. Or that, again, I can beat him to the end game before he plays mind control. Okay, he doesn't have mind control. That's decent. And he shoots that. That's 11, 13. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, that's game.
Well played.
Okay, none of these are good. So I can throw away 4 of them and get an 80% chance of getting a 2-drop, which is very decent for me. Again, the very good curve of 1-2, turn 3, play a 4. Well played for him. Instead, I'm going to play it this way. This brings to the point, yeah, we got to this. that coin gives you 2 turns of the same mana curve. So the fact that I have 2 5 mana is the reason why I'm playing this way. I could have also ran Tiger. Interesting thing though is that if you can't get rid of my Smith, then it might be more value than Tiger. Well, most definitely will be more value than Tiger. And that was a lot of damage for what he got. I was thinking about whether or not that might have been a misplay to run the Crocolisk, but it does survive 1 hit of Doomhammer, so that's decent, at the very least. Oh, sweet. Why? Oh, that animation didn't go off. That was weird. So... I didn't... I didn't account for Bloodlust. If he runs Bloodlust, he has lethal right now. Bloodlust is +3 per minion, so that's 4, that's 12. He has 4 damage, 18, 16 on his hammer, and then 16, yeah, and then 4 damage, which is this, and he overkills me by 1. Okay, he definitely had lethal last turn, so unless he didn't play that turn right, then you can assume he doesn't have Bloodlust. Now that I'm into 5 kills, you'll notice as you start going up the level and the people that you face, as you go up in the kill range, you realize that people will start getting more and more experienced. Because in general, on average, they'll if they got up in the ranks, then that means that they're better. So it's nice to keep in mind, but don't assume that your level 1 guy is a complete idiot. Just realize that later on people are going to make really good plays. If you run the assumption that everyone you play is going to be as you think their skill level is going to be, then you can make some dangerously bad plays. It's better to assume that everyone is very, very good at what they do. This is my 1/5 chance guy, so we're just going to throw out the 5 in hopes of something better. Yeah, that works too. It's not the best, but it still works. Cool. So sadly we don't have the 1, 2, 3, but we do have 2 if he decides to play a 1 health guy. And if not, we have the... There we go. Now I get the choice of which one I want to play. Ooh, that's good for me. Value, value. Great. Yeah, if you can, usually deny the Acolyte of Pain's value, especially against Mage and Priest. Paladin not necessarily, but I don't want to give him any more cards than I would want him to get. Basically, it generally gets you, Acolyte of Pain generally gets you 2 cards, so that 2 cards to they take about 1 card to kill it, but you gain 2 cards out of the process. So in total you get +2. I don't feel bad at all about rushing face. It's hard to roll a quality Consecrator or quality Pyromancer, so I'm not going to assume that he has it. Just in the sense that, on average, people will not get a quality Consecrate. It's just way too hard to roll. Unless they really are looking for it. In which case, they'll sacrifice a lot of cards, and hopefully they didn't come to this rank. But if they did manage to grab it while picking up the best cards on average, then it's unfortunate. Cool. I don't mind taking out that guy. Wipe the board for myself. It does slow down myself quite a bit, but I do have Sea Giant to make up for it, so I have 16 damage. If I roll this rate, then I win. Considering he doesn't play anything that's in my way this turn. So, big assumption. We'll find out if it's true or not as soon as he plays. Actually, that's a huge assumption. What am I thinking? I don't mind trading out 1 guy. Again, should have daggered after I saw what card I pulled. Just normal etiquette. Because if that was a 2-coster that I want to play for whatever reason, I don't think I do really have any, but for whatever reason, then I should not have daggered up. Great. I got the Defiance Ringleader opening. Zombie Chow I can consider discarding here. I might discard all of these in favor of trying to get a 3-drop or another good 2-drop. Great. Cool. I can deal. So Defiance Ringleader into Loot Hoarder is fantastic play. And there we go. I have my 3-drop, though I don't know if I'll play this right away. But we'll see. The optimal choice is to be able to play it last, but if it's on curve, then sometimes there's just no better way. Okay, we're not even playing Loot Hoarder. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, yes. Please. Feed me some more. Let's... I can actually trade with these two. Assassin's Blade and Violet Teacher. Oh. Okay then. Oh my god. I really don't mind him trading with my stuff. Well, kind of do. I'm not losing too much by letting him trade, especially since I'm getting so much tempo off of this. Oh, that's unfortunate. If I get Shadow Step, I'll be really happy. Again, you can wish for things, but don't depend on them for your next play. Unless you have no other play. Oh, let's see, I missed 6 damage to face. I could have set up for lethal next turn, but it was relatively important to get rid of spell. Nope, that's that. Okay. 6, 8. I could almost set up for lethal next turn. I can set up for lethal next turn if he pops my guy. And I'm going to draw for... Nope. I was drawing for just see if I can get extra damage. But if he does kill my guy, gets no health, no taunt, then I have lethal. So it's kind of a bet. But I'm hoping he doesn't realize that I can kill him. Oh man, if he had Sun Fury Protector, I'd be sad. There we go, that's lethal. Oh, it's unfortunate. Okay, I have the... if I play these in order, I can play... No, because I would turn 3, turn 2... Yeah, Defiance is going, and so is Novice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get better plays later on. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was the dream. Wow. That wasn't even fair. Wow, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Oh my god. This is so gross. That's an interesting play. I don't know if I don't know if I actually want to kill that. Because that's a ton of value for me if he plays that, if he uses it. If he marks of the Hunter's Mark, I lose my Yeti, but he does lose all of his guys as well. Alright. Ooh, Okay, I'll play. Yeah, okay. I could have violet teacher there, but it was just a matter of which stats I wanted to keep. I don't feel too bad about that play. But I could have worked around multi-shot. It's definitely one of the played hunter cards. Hmm. I set myself up for being kill command here. Okay. Seems like he wants to get rid of it. I'm fine with that. Because it does look like it's a freezing trap. In which case it's good for me to... I mean, it's decent for me to pop it now than later. Oh, that's not good. Better play would have been to throw Murloc Tidehunter on the other side for explosive shot, so that this guy dies. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Oh man. It's on. This is unfortunate. Wow. Wow. Good job, you. Man, this is the only one with stats that are able to kill it. Unless... no, that still doesn't... That's really unfortunate. I should have attacked there. 1 damage for Deadly Poison next. This Hunter deck's got me flustered. This is really not the position I want to be in right now. That's crazy. He rolled the constructed Hunter deck, basically. Wow. Wow. Okay, does he have lethal 10? Yeah, he's lethal. I need to find a way to remove damage.
Pay
8,
attention, class.
10, and I can't kill him next turn. This is basically done. And I couldn't deal with Savannah Highmane. Yeah, that frozen trap wrecked me. I mean, I need the Abomination down to deal with the minions he wouldn't have. Vanubar was down itself. So, Abomination, and then if I were to throw my guy, I guess I wouldn't be able to kill all of his guys. No, I didn't know he had a Savannah Highmane in his hand. I guess I could have tried to work around it, but yeah, that's game. Okay. Basically, I had to work around Savannah Highmane. I had to have known it was in his hand, or guessed that it was in his hand, or bet, or whatever. So. Guy's so happy about his Hunter deck. Thanks. Oh, well played? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I know. I generally well play.
I will be your death.
Okay. He's my 1 in 5. Oh, man. Oh, man. Motherfucker. Fuck it. He does get the advantage, he does that and trades that, but I need the tempo. Yep. There it is. If I dagger up, I take 8 damage. 8 more damage from this guy? Right, I have to hit him twice and he hits me. I hit him, he hits me, I hit him. Right, so he gets 8 in total. Oh no. Oh, Abomination cannot come out quickly enough. Okay. Yeah, Abomination's next play. For certain. There's no way I'm not playing it. I mean, there's very little chance I'm not playing it. Because I need to wipe the board. Death Lord is an interesting card. Oh no, and if I sap it, he still gets value out of it. If I run this though and he doesn't sap it, I'm just hoping to not get a sap on that, because I can set up something else, but I can't execute anything basically. I can't get anything done. Okay, that's getting sapped. Which is pretty nice for me. Right, 4 sap, 1, that's 3. It's gonna cost 7 and we won't be able to play it. And I'm not hitting, of course, because I'm losing on the tempo battle. And I'll be able to play mine if none of my creatures die. Which is good, but not something I can plan ahead for. All I can really hope is that Death Lord gives me something game-breaking, but I don't know if that's possible. He has 3 of them. That's why he's rank 8. Or coming up in this range. That's unfortunate. Okay, what do I have? Right, so he has 2, 5, 2, 5, 7, 9. And I have to kill that somehow. So right, I can't, in this position I have to get rid of something on his side, otherwise I can't do anything. In my hand there's nothing to deal damage except for my Assassin's Blade. I cannot do anything but play Assassin's Blade and kill it. Right. Yeah, I don't have any other way to deal damage, that's the only thing I can do, and I have to hope for the best. And that gives me another turn. Assumedly. But I'm not going to be able to get many more turns because my deck is not focused on taunting stuff. It's focused on getting value. And at this point in time, he has definitely gotten more value than I have. Yep. Oh my god. Yep. Well played. Alright, so yeah, so if you get into rank, or like you get the 9 win, 10 win, 11, 12, whatever, you get a lot of gold, you get your, you get a golden card usually, and I don't know, I think it's only one pack reward in general. And it's about rank 4, 5, 6 that you get a full refund on Arena, which is what you really want. Here's the deal, I mean, so if you can play Arena regularly and get more than 50 gold, you're getting profit on those arenas, which means that you should play them. If you have the time. If you have the time, then you should play them. Otherwise, you should buy packs. Because if you can get... So, Arena will give you a pack and a set amount of gold and maybe some dust. If you get 50 gold, that offsets the price of your pack, and you've gotten value. Or you broke even. If you get more than 50 gold and a pack, which you always get a pack, so if you get more than 50 gold, you will have made profit. And therefore, you should play more Arena. And once you get to the tops ranks and stuff like that, which doesn't happen consistently. Not even Trump always gets all the way to 4, 5, 6, whatever. I use Trump because I like watching his streams. So yeah. Play Arena if you have the time, if you can, and then it's a good way to get more cards. And you can do it all free to play. And there we go. And I'll open the pack, of course. Get to see what the stuff is inside of it. Alright, that's it. Hopefully that was helpful. The important things to remember is card advantage. Does this card give me +0, +1, or +2? In general, on average, what situation should I account for if I wanted to get this much value, whatever. And in tandem with card advantage is when should I play this card to get card advantage. If it's a 2-drop, but I only get 0 card advantage early and I get more card advantage late, is it really a 2-drop, or am I looking at this like 6 mana curve, 7 mana curve, up in those ranks where I have to play it with another card, where I have to wait for this situation to happen? Those things you have to account for. So, card advantage. The next part is about tempo. You have to remember that there are some cards that enable you to get rid of their life total faster, or stop them from getting rid of your life total faster, which is a lot of math to it. I mean, I didn't go into that, but you can start to see how math might be involved in that, and also general circumstances that happen. What type of situation is this deck geared for? Like mine is, you're constantly trading cards all the time, because that's how you get card advantages, by making sure that you're trading cards at the right pace. And then the last part is knowing what cards to start with. Look through your cards, look which ones you want early games, right? You calculated your card advantage over here. You want to find out which cards you want to have in your early game hand over here. And find out how many of those you have. Put it out of 30, find out what the statistic for that is, and then see how many cards you have to swap out before you can actually get one of those cards, and account for that. And like, realize that if you're 2 cards short, right, there were some times where I didn't have the 2 opener in there, and I only had 3 cards in hand that I could swap out. If I swap all 3 of them out, I might not get a 2-drop, and if I get filled with 5s and 6s, then I'm screwed for for the beginning term, and I have to hope that I'll get all these better cards. If there's a 3-drop or a 4-drop that you want to keep, then you keep that 4-drop and then you remove everything else. It's better betting for that option than just going, take the wheel, Jesus, and just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. Because at least you know that you might get something out of it. If not, you're throwing it all to chance. And in strategy games, like card games, like other strategy games, you generally don't want to leave things up to chance, or you want to make it a calculated risk. So that's pretty much it. If you want to know about anything else, then just send me a tweet, send me a comment on YouTube, and you'll be able to find out more about this stuff. So just ask me. I'm definitely, if people want to watch this video, I'm be so glad to put up another one. So hit me up. Thanks for watching.